Welcome back to Book Reviews with Modern Child Media. I'm Jeremy, the founder of Modern Child Media and the host of this channel. I was an early elementary teacher, an early childhood program director, and I'm currently a doctoral student studying early childhood media. Farfallina Marcel, written and illustrated by Keller, is a beautiful story about an evolving multi-stage friendship between a caterpillar and a baby goose, which is known as a gosling. This book almost makes me cry every time I read it, and while I can't guarantee that you'll have an equally strong reaction, I'm going to give you a few reasons why I think it deserves a spot on your bookshelf. My favorite childhood books are the ones that give children a little appetizer-sized portion of big and complicated feelings or dynamics that they'll experience across their lives. If you think of a child's life like a long sequence of events, we can engage with children before the events transpire or after. We're either helping them to prepare or helping them to repair. Between teachers, guardians, family, and friends, you'll find that people generally focus on one or the other based on their view of life or childhood or the kind of parenting they received. The truth is that life is more pleasant for people who are emotionally prepared that also know how to repair and bounce back from challenges and adversity. This book presents a few different opportunities for discussions about challenging dynamics that will inevitably transpire. The main characters in the story meet and become fast friends. When it's time for the caterpillar to retreat into a tree, form a cocoon, and begin the process of becoming a butterfly, the two friends are separated. This process takes about 10 days, but neither Farfallina or Marcel have any sense of time. During that 10 days, Marcel the gosling thinks that he's been abandoned and moves on with some sadness in his little goose heart. When Farfallina the caterpillar emerges as a butterfly, Marcel is gone, and she also feels abandoned. There will be times in most children's lives when they're separated from a friend for reasons that may be unclear to them or outside of their control. Now, you could have a first discussion about this sad reality of friendships when the child in your life is in tears during their last day at preschool, but then you're in repair mode and that's hard. Have that discussion while you're reading this book. It's not going to prevent your child from having these big feelings when something similar happens to them, but you have Farfallina and Marcel and the discussion to refer back to. You've laid some groundwork. Later in the story, after each of the animals has felt great disappointment and begins to move on with their lives, they cross paths again. They're older now and play different games together. Initially, they don't realize that they've already met, but when they do realize that, it's my favorite moment of the book. They're new friends and old friends at the same time. This is what I think is another important lesson. Even though the two animals were sad to have lost friends, they went forth into the world and tried to form new friendships. When kids are young, adults often try to instill in them this idea that when something is important to you, you need to hold it dearly and not let it go. And while this is true of an irreplaceable blanket or a special toy, it's not true of friends. The best way to make sure that you never stop having a nice group of friends is to never stop trying to make new friends. And if we celebrate children for their willingness to reach out to new peers or play new games to get these relationships going, then they'll begin to do it more often, and we're setting them up for success. So those are my two big conversations that I think this book sets up. First, that losing friends for reasons we can't control is part of life, and secondly, that being open and willing to make new friends is the best way to make sure that you've always got some. There's a secondary conversation about comparing life cycles of animals here. The caterpillar turns into a butterfly, which is a major difference in appearance, but the gosling looks pretty similar as it grows up. There's lots of really interesting time-lapse videos of caterpillars changing to butterflies on YouTube, and I suggest you look for a few with the child in your life. I highly recommend this book for the young person in your life. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe so that you don't miss any of the exciting things we have coming on the channel, and I'll see you soon.